So I want to talk about fighting our fears. Can you tell a neighbor, fight your fears? We want to fight our fears. And when we begin to look into this passage, we're going to learn something about some of these fears and how we can cross over. Can you think about Peter that we read in the passage just now? His response to this girl that was at the door, just some girl, a girl he doesn't even know, just a young girl. But when she asked him a very innocent question, he denied it. Why did he deny this? Why did he deny Jesus? Because he was afraid to be found out. And we need to realize that not that long ago, Peter was the one that was so confident, and when he declared to Jesus that he will always be faithful to Jesus. The Bible tells us in Matthew chapter 26, in verse 33 to verse 35, Peter had said, it says, even if all fall away, on account of you, I never will. That's what Peter said. And then Jesus, you can almost sense a tinge of sadness when Jesus replied to him. He said, I tell you the truth, Jesus answered. This very night, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. Wow. But Peter declared, even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you. Look at how much bravado there was, how much confidence and all these things. And then all the other disciples said the same. What an irony. Here he was, just a few hours earlier, he's beating his chest, almost said, I will never do such things. And a few hours later, he did just that. Why? Because of fear. Fear caused him to do something that he promised he never would. Fear sometimes can drive us into directions that we had told ourselves we never would. Fear may move us into things that we say, I will never find myself in that situation. But sometimes fear just catches hold of us and drags us into that place. And that's why it's so important that we learn to deal with fears in our lives. How many say amen to that? Amen. So let me share with you a few things. First thing is to understand that fear can compromise. When we look at verse 15 to 18 again, let's look at the story again. It says, Simon Peter and another disciple were following Jesus. Because this disciple was known to the high priest, he went with Jesus into the high priest's courtyard. So there was this disciple that was well connected, so he went in with Jesus. But Peter had to wait outside at the door. The other disciple who was known to the high priest came back, spoke to the girl on duty there. There was a girl just in charge of the guests that come in, or some sort of reception, or some kind of, somebody who just checks on whoever comes into the courtyard. And spoke to the girl on duty there and brought Peter in. You're not one of his disciples, are you? That's the girl at the door asked Peter. And he replied, I am not. It was cold, and the servants' officials stood around a fire they made to keep warm. And Peter was also standing with them, warming himself. Now, as we look into this, one of the things we need to understand is, if we want to understand something about fear, we need to look into it more deeply. One of the things we need to understand is fear is actually an inbuilt mechanism that God has put in us. He's put into our brains. Now imagine if you're walking past a house, in front of a driveway of a house, and there was a sloping driveway, and a car was parked there, and suddenly the car started rolling backwards. What would be your immediate reaction, Something kicks in and you're like, whoa, jump out of the way, right? That's what you would do. Because there's a mechanism that's built into us. Fear is triggered, the fear of being squashed by the car. And so you jump out of the way. Now, if you didn't have this mechanism, and nothing of this nature operates, and the car starts rolling back, you say, oh, gee, this is incredible. Nobody's driving the car, it's coming backwards to hit me. We wouldn't do that, right? If you were doing that, something is wrong. That something is not functioning in you. So fear in itself is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. See, fear towards real and present dangers, that is a normal reaction. For example, if you have a poisonous snake, right? And of course, when you look at it, it's a real snake. It's poisonous. I have a picture here. See what? This is some things you can imagine a snake might do to you. Oh, that's terrible, right? Oh, all right. Take that picture out of the way. And so, if you have a poisonous snake, it's real, and but not only is it real, it's present. It's right beside you. Then it is natural that you feel fearful. If you see a snake, but the snake is 100 meters away, you don't feel so fearful. You say, "Oh, the snake, oh well, it's 100 meters away. I don't be afraid." If you see them in a zoo in a cage, you're not afraid because it's real, but it's not present.